Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how to design a simple custom bar chart in Power BI. I used this bar chart while I was working on a particular project using Excel, and it shows percentage change, year on year percentage change from one year to another, as you can see on my screen. And the little trick that I use then is to create an invisible bar chart, just like you can see here, my tooltip, you can say invisible. And I believe it's simple, so you just follow along, and I believe you're going to learn one or two things from this tutorial. Thank you. So let's go to the data sheet that I used. This is the Excel workbook. So we have the year and the amount, and let's go to our Power BI now. The new file, get data. This is my Excel file. So go to transform data. So before I move on to the data transformation properly, so let me just come to Excel sheet. I'm not teaching the Excel properly, so it's just to show you what is being done. So I created an invisible column which is self-referencing in Excel, but we don't do self-referencing in Power BI. We do row context. So then after that, I create a difference, and which is this minus this. So because we don't need any value for 2018, that is the last year we are considering. So how do we do this in Power BI? So we come to our data transformation, then come to hard column, come to index column, select from 1. So here, let me just rename the sheet to data. So come to home, close and apply. Okay. So let's proceed. So we have come to data view, table view. So we can see we have the 3 columns. The next thing we're going to do is to create a new column for the invisible. So we're going to use a lookup value function in Power BI. So it has some certain parameters. Then that's the result column. Then our search column name is the index column, and the search value is the index. Then we are looking for the second value, that is +1. So you can see just like what we achieved in the Excel. So the next time I'm going to create another column, which is the variance. I call it the variance. So the same thing that I did, lookup value, data amount, index. Minus. So you can just copy this and paste to save our time. So here, I'm going to remove this. Now you can see that we have this value here, but I don't want any value to be shown. So what I did here is to use if is blank, invisible, then I want to make it blank. So you can see that's gone. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create positive variance and negative variance columns. So I'm going to call it variance. Positive. So I'm still going to use the same if is blank, invisible, then the next thing I'm going to do there is I'm going to check if the variance is greater than equals to 0 and a negative variance, else blank. I'm going to close my parentheses. So the same thing, I'm going to create another column, call it negative variance. Let me just paste this one and call it variance negative. So what I'm going to change here is if variance is less than 0, make it positive variance. I'm going to show you where this is applicable. Now let's move ahead to plot our graph now, our bar chart. So before I proceed, this here is in whole number, so I'm going to convert it to text. Go back to text. Yeah, close and apply. So the next thing is the column bar chart. We have the amount and the invisible. So we come to our chart, select clustered column chart. So sort as this a year, you sort ascending. So you can see that we have all the amount and the invisible. You can see the invisible for 2012 is the same value as the amount for 2013. So we're going to perform some bit of formatting here. So you come back to format, come to column, your series, select invisible, and make the color white. Next thing, for all series, come to your layout and space between categories, make it 0, so you can see we have same width, and that's perfect. The next thing we're going to do here is to add our data labels. So you can see that the invisible value for 2012 is the same thing as for amount of 2013, but we are not going to show this for the invisible value. We are showing the percentage change. So how do we create the percentage change? So the next thing we're going to do here is to create another column. let's call it variance percent. So it's the same thing. We're going to use if is blank, invisible, need to close the parenthesis, blank. Yes. So what we're going to do is to divide. We use divide function. That is going to be variance. That's the numerator. The denominator is going to be amount. Then the alternate result is going to be 0. Then we close. Good. So if you come back here now and come to then we're going to convert this to percentage. Let's convert that to percentage. Okay, now if you come back here now, select your column chart under data label for invisible, you come to your value. Yeah, if you're using Power BI from October 2023 upward, you see custom. Yeah, for field the value, now you can change the value. You can come to variance percentage. So you can see we have 0k percentage. Now the issue here is if you're using custom label, it has to be a formatted string. So how do we do this in Power BI? So the next thing we're going to do is to turn our percentage to a string. So we're going to create another measure. So let's call this label percent. This always use a meaningful name for your measure. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use format function. So I'm using variance, using sum. I'm going to format it. So there are a lot of videos you can watch on how to format in Power BI or Excel. So I'm going to use this. Then I have this. Okay, if it is negative, I'm going to have negative here. Okay, something is wrong. So I didn't close my quotes here. So I'm going to come back here and change my field from this to label percentage. So you can see it's properly labeled now. Now I want to show if it is increase or if it's decreasing. So instead of using minus here, I can just come here and use from your Windows, you press Windows period, and you can use different icons. Come back here. Look for So without wasting our time, you can just look for a down arrow and an up arrow. So without wasting our time, so you can do that. So we don't have to waste our time. Let's come here. So just look for down arrow and up arrow. So I think that's just without wasting time. So the next thing we're going to do, you're almost through, is to add what we see here, because this is the final effect that we are looking for. So the next thing we're going to do is adding an error bar. So you come here, add error bar. So we are adding error bar to the invisible, enable, and yes, the type is going to be by field. The upper bound is going to be the variance positive, and the lower bound is going to be variance negative. So as you can see, this is not what we are actually looking for, and the relationship to measure is going to be relative. Great, so beautiful. So the next thing we're going to do is, if it is increasing, it's going to be green, and if it's decreasing, it's going to be red. So how do we do that? So let's go back and add our measure. As we're going to create a conditional statement. So the next thing is create a column. So we're going to create, for the indicators, we're going to create a column. So it's going to be label indicator. So it's going to be if data variance percentage is greater than, if it is less than 0, it's going to be, if it is less than 0, that will be red. You can use hexadecimal code, HTML, so I'm just prefer to use green. So we come to our format again. So for the value, select this, and you come to value field, you select label indicator. Great. So let me make it more visible. So nice one. Now, so the last thing we're going to do, okay, this is too much, so you can come here, and for the data label position, you can make it outside hand. Good. So and the next thing we're going to do, if you look at the year, the arrangement we have 2012 is not centered enough. So what is the trick we're going to do here? So I have something to do. I'm going to come and create another column. So if you come to our table view, so we have the year, so I'm going to create another column. So let me call it year name. So I'm going to use the column year and concatenate it with a repeat function. So this is the text I want to repeat by the number of times I want to make it. So I'm going to use 35. Let's come back to our chart. Instead of using year, I'm going to use the year name. You can see, you can sort it again by year name and sort ascending. So you can adjust this repeat function. You can increase it by, let's say, 40 and say so. You can say it's getting shape a bit. So depending on what you want, you can make it 43. You can adjust your graph. You can say, then you can come back to your data label. You can reduce the font. Great. Yeah, this is all I have to show you. You can practice on your own. You can come here and do some formatting. Come back to your x-axis. Um, you can come to your y-axis and turn up the title, the values, then the year name for the x-axis. You can turn up the title. So these are the things you can do to beautify your visualizations. And so if you find it useful, please just give it a thumb up, and you can follow me for more exciting tutorials like this, even though it is once in a while. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, catch you later.